Hello, YouTube fan. Get ready for an amazing video experience. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're thrilled to have you here as we tackle Alexander Bashlachev. Alexander Nikolaevich Bashlachev, 27 May 1960, 17 February 1988, was a Soviet poet, singer-songwriter and guitarist, and is considered one of the most influential performers in Russian rock music. As we embark on the next leg of our journey, let's unpack the layers of early life and examine its core elements. Bashlachev was born in Cherepovets, Soviet Union, the son of Nikolai Bashlachev and Nelly Bashlacheva. In 1977, Bashlachev graduated from Cherepovets High School in Cherepovets and worked as a painter at the Cherepovets metallurgical plant with his father. In 1978, he resigned from the plant to enroll at the Ural State University in Yekaterinburg, then called Sverdlovsk, as a journalism major. Bashlachev graduated in 1983. As we progress through this video, let's shift our attention towards career and uncover its hidden depths. In early 1983, Bashlachev wrote Griboidov Waltz, which was the first song he had written. Throughout the years, Bashlachev wrote and composed music. After he graduated at the Ural State University, Bashlachev left Sverdlovsk and returned to Cherepovets, where he worked for a year with the newspaper The Communist. There, he wrote articles about the power plant and, later, about KFs. In May 1984, Bashlachev attended the Leningrad Rock Festival in Leningrad. There, he bought an acoustic guitar which he had taught himself to play. In September, he played some of his songs at his friend Leonid Parfenov's apartment in Leningrad. Over the years, he would play several flat concerts. It is worth noting that rock music was censored in Russia during the Ers and the Ers. To get around this, musicians played for small audiences at their homes or at the homes of their friends. These gatherings were called kvarterniks. In October, Bashlachev met music journalist Artemy Troitsky, who invited Bashlachev to Moscow to write and compose music. In December 1984, Bashlachev settled in Leningrad. In March 1985, Bashlachev along with Yuri Shevchuk played at the Leningrad Rock Festival. The two performed before an audience of 600 concertors at the Leningrad Veterinary Institute in Leningrad. A recording of this concert was released under the title of Kokogarka. Officially a worker at a coal boiler station, popularly known as Kamchatka, it also served as an underground rock venue. Bashlachev became a member of the Leningrad Rock Club. In June 1987, he performed at the Leningrad Rock Festival for the second and final time, and was awarded the Nadezhda Hope Prize. In the upcoming portion, we'll be dissecting death to gain a comprehensive understanding of its implications. Shortly before his death, Bashlachev had difficulties with writer's block, rarely writing new songs and tending to avoid performing old ones. His last song, entitled Cherry, was written in August 1987. He also became more isolated as his depression grew more severe. On 17 February 1988, Bashlachev died after falling from the window of the 9th floor of an apartment on Kuznetsov Avenue in Leningrad. The most likely cause of his death, though unverified, was suicide. He was buried at the Kovalevskoye Cemetery in the Leningrad Oblast. Bashlachev's son, Yegor, was born to his girlfriend Anastasia Raklina a few months after his death. He was predeceased by his other son, Ivan, who died in infancy. Yegor committed suicide in 2021. Brace yourself for a captivating discussion on discography as we explore its nuances and implications. 1. Time of Bells 1989, recorded in January 1986 during the second of two single-day sessions at the apartment of the administrator at the Moscow Rock Laboratory, Alexander Egeev. Bashlachev sang 24 songs. 2. Everything Will Be Fine 1990, recorded in January 1986 during the first of two sessions. Bashlachev sang 24 songs. 3. Third Capital 1990, recorded on 30 May 1985 in Leningrad in the home studio of 4. Tugonka 1992, recorded by Andrei Zakisov on 22 January 1986 in Tugonka. 5. Eternal Fasting 1994, recorded in May 1986 in the studio of Alexander Lipnitsky. 6. Famously 1994, recorded on 20 January 1986 in the home studio of Alexander Egeev, Moscow. 7. VII 1994, recorded by Oleg Kovriga at a concert at the home of Igor Igorov in Moscow on 14 January 1988, and at a home concert at the home of Marina Timasheva in Moscow on 29 January 1988. Entry is also known as Last Concert. 8. II 1996, recorded at the home of Marina Turganova and Alexander Nesmilov in Moscow on 14 April 1985. 9. IV 1996, recorded by Oleg Zmovsky at his home in Vladimir in June 1986, Tatiana Nilova and Yuri Morozov in the studio of Radio House in Leningrad for the documentary Heta Soldatenkov's studio in June 1987, and Igor Vasiliev's home in Alexander Egeev of Moscow on 20 January 1986. 10. Kokugaka 1997, underground concert with Yuri Shchik in Leningrad, recorded on 18 March 1985. 11. Moscow 1998, recorded by Artemy Troitsky in Moscow on 20 October 1984. At the apartment of Sergei Rysenko. 12. I 1998, recorded at Viktor Alisov and Igor Vasiliev's home studio in Moscow on 17 to 19 September 1984, at a home concert at Cherepovets in the summer of 1984, and by Sergei Fursov at his home in Leningrad in September 1985. 13. IV 1998, recorded by Oleg at a concert at the home of Igor Igorov in Moscow on 4 October 1985. 14. V 1998, recorded by Igor Vasiliev at the house of Alexander Egeev in Moscow 20 January 1986, and by Mark Kopelov at a concert in Novosibirsk of Leningrad in December 1985 and July 1986. 15. Chernobyl Loners at the Edge of the World 1999, recording made by Sergei Fursov 15 August 1986, on household equipment. Personnel: Alexander Bashlachev vocals, lead guitar, Andrew Shetlin bass guitar, Pavel Kondratenko piano, and Sviatoslav Zaderi percussion. 16. VI 2002-1-7, recorded by Oleg at a concert in Moscow in October 1986. Recorded by Boris Paraverzev at a home concert at Artemy Troitsky's apartment in Moscow on 15 January 1986. Recorded by Oleg at the home of Igor Igorov in Moscow on 14 January 1988. 12. 13, recorded by Kirill Koverdin at his home in Moscow on 5 July 1987. 14, recorded at the Mickey exhibition in Leningrad in July 1987. Harmonica Boris Grebenshikov. Recorded by Sergei Fursov at his home in Leningrad on 22 August 1986. I love hearing from you, so leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments.